Alright, I should switch to my screen, I guess. Here we go. So when we talk about hi, welcome to the TVGS live stream of Ludum Dare games. This is the spreadsheet that we're using in reference to determining partially the order of the games that we play. By the way, my name is Taro Mia. I'm going to be your host for today. I am joined together with...
I'm Chris. Also go by Taco Pill.
Hi, I'm Jamie. I go by Dream Logician on Ludum Dare.
Yeah, so Jamie and I actually submitted Ludum Dare projects, and we often fight about the pronunciation of Ludum Dare. I'm joking, we don't actually do that. But in any case, yeah, we had a request last time from the last week's stream that Chris hosted, and while I will not go into further detail about what happened, we were hoping to play it as one of our first entries, so that's going to be happening soon. When we will occasionally on the chat mention that we're looking for row numbers, and I will also mention it on stream as well, but you know, the chat is more up to date and quicker to update than the other way around. So that's a little more reliable. Anyways, when we talk about that, what we're talking about are row numbers on the very left-hand side right here. Like, for example, with Fearcle is row number 22. The way we prioritize on which games we play is based off of, one, whoever's watching first, and then two, the order in which the submissions were made. So that's the reason why we tend to ask for row numbers. One, because you're letting us know that you're here on the chat, and two, it lets us come up with an order of which games to play should there be multiple viewers on chat that we need to sort through. So that's our order of operations, and feel free to leave in the comments how much you like or dislike said system. But in the meantime, I figured I would get started. I haven't actually downloaded this yet, have I? Oh no, I have. Okay, sweet. And there are so many incredible NDA agreements downloaded in here. I need to figure out a way to not have this problem all the time, each time I'm downloading a game, but okay. But in any case, I probably want to put it in the games folder right here. LDJAM, LD17. And Fearcle was the one that we wanted to play for today. It is not treating. I have a bad feeling about this. Let me go through one thing real quick. The instructions say... Entered Fearcle, this fantastic ghost train known of all. You'll play as Timio, a young 7-year-old boy who finds himself stuck in a nightmarish attraction. Help him get out of it. So, help him to get out of it, for he can't solve the puzzles by himself. Bring light back and cast shadows away. Bring light back in Fearcle to get Timio out of the nightmarish loop. You'll have to find the right combination of interrupters to be able to go to the next wagon. If you fail, leave your wagon to restart and try again, but beware, for in the shadows the train lies a terrible threat that can kill you. Left or right to move, up to interact, and spacebar to switch view sides. Interesting. Sure. Timio among the cheering crowd is smiling for the famous Fearcle he cannot wait to see. In his hand, the black ticket brought for a shilling. Now is the time he enters in the train with glee. Just to make sure, how does the stream audio sound like? Are we balanced properly? Alright, room exit, left and right to move. Ooh, the screen is jittering badly on my screen. I don't know if it's jittering badly on yours. Press space to look on the other side of the train. Oh, interesting. Can we just exit? Press space to look on the other side of the train. Sure. Press up to interact. Ah, sweet. We love the dark. It's where chaos reigns.
I must bring the light back.
I must bring back the light. I must bring the light back. Nah, we don't need any lights. We can keep going. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. Wow.
We have a number in just to let you know, Taro.
Oh, sweet. If you can keep track of it, that'd be great.
Yep.
So, Jamie, thoughts? Is the audio any better, by the way? I did obviously turn down the volume quite significantly. Oh, let's make friends! Can we do that again?
I'm gonna mute Discord so I can hear the stream.
Oh, fine. That was a really friendly looking fellow right there. I wanted to shake hands. I don't know if I am really badly disappointing Jamie or the maker of this game, given this is how I'm. Oh, hi. Oh, that friendly person is all around again. Oh, that's an interesting glitch. Nope, can't interact with that light. Darn it. Oh, the music is creeping up. That's good. That's always a good thing, right?
Okay, so I hear you, Taro, but I don't hear the game.
You don't? Okay, I did lower the volume quite significantly. To be fair, all I'm hearing are footsteps.
Okay.
So I don't know if you're hearing anything else other than footsteps. Oh, nice. Alright, I feel very lost right now because a lot of these train, I guess carriage are, looks the same. Nice. That is the most short-sighted light ever. Ah, friend. Ah. I mean, I have to give them credit for installing, you know, red LED lights. Maybe it's one of those multicolored ones where you can, like, change its shade over time. Maybe they're all smart lights, and we don't even need to turn the switch on. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing with the exploration side of things. That is to say, like you can flip between sides, which I can understand what that means. It means you're flipping the camera around, but I'm not seeing the purpose behind that yet. Oh, fine, I'll leave this carriage. You know what, I'm going to do the most dastardly strategy that I've ever came up with any video game, which is to keep walking to the right and not let anything distract me. Are you spooked, Chris?
Slightly.
Slightly, okay. But I guess I'm not doing a very good job of dulling the spooks.
Yeah. Comment from the chat. I believe going off the camera just resets the level.
Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, that was mentioned in instructions. I'm silly, Billy. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so it sounded like there was a sequence of lights that actually turned on the entire thing. So with that in mind, like that turned that on. And that turned that on. Oh, okay. Right, okay. And then what happens if I switch sides? Wasn't there like a switch over here? No? So we managed to get one pair of lights on. How is the frame rate so far?
Okay. I don't know if it's... There's some jitteriness, but I don't know if it's the stream or if it's the game.
The game is really jittery on my screen.
Okay.
Like it's bouncing up and down for no reason.
Yeah, I think the frame rate's a little choppy on the stream at least.
We're also getting comments from Twitch about that as well.
Okay, so that tells me... I thought I could dual screen this on my Mac computer, but it doesn't sound like it. So... that means I cannot see the chat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch it to just single screen.
Got it.
Turn back to the game. How is the frame rate now?
Better.
Jamie?
At least for me.
It looks a little, maybe a little better. Yeah, a little better for me on the stream.
Okay.
Looking good.
Okay. Now it's getting described as smooth as butter.
Sweet. Alright, so what I'm getting at here is that the order of the switches being hit matters. Oh, that was a really well lit room though. Okay, interesting. So let's try hitting this switch, which only does that.
Someone in the chat is saying light switch order matters. I think if you hit red, light level needs to reset.
I'm not doing a very good job of memorizing which of these lights I flicked. Oh, okay. See. So, whoops.
As far as you can tell so far, Taro, is there anything other than trial and error, like as a method to figure out the right order?
Not yet. I'm very trial and ordering.
I really like the use of lighting, and I like the art style. I think the art is really cool.
Maybe this one? Was that a hint? It seems like this specific couch one is the one that causes everything to reset. So I've been lighting that on first because it's consistently kept some of the lights on. So I'm just going in chronological order for now that I encounter it. Okay, so maybe... Oh. That was different. But we're still stuck in the same room. Oh no, the switches are different. Mid one? Oh, okay. Okay. No light switches here. I think that's like a Mario Party tune that I cannot for the life of me recall. The audio design is mostly pretty good. Nothing too distracting. Yeah, I do like the seeming randomness to it because you never really know what instrument to expect. I mean, I kind of interpret it as I'm now in a new level, now that the light switches are different.
Yeah, it's tough to tell. The instructions, I think, said something about, I was just looking at them again, that if you fail, leave your wagon to restart and try again. But I don't know if that's just after you fail, and I don't know how it tells you fail. I'm assuming that's like the red light.
Oh, I was just chased by something. Yeah. Our good old creepy friend, you know.
Comments from the chat. Good audio design should be almost on nerves, really, in my opinion. Like most good design in general. I just remember that it would make a positive sound chime if you got the order of lights right. I can't recall if the random voice you hear is a good thing or a bad thing.
It plays music when you it seems
There
to... Go on.
Sorry. The chat is also wondering why the person who developed the game isn't here.
Oh, weird. So that switch has consistently dimmed the lights out, so I'm assuming it's just a wrong switch. Maybe it's just one of those things where I have to walk out once I hit any switches. That doesn't seem to trigger anything. Alright, walking out.
It says you will have to find the right combination of interrupters to be able to go to the next wagon. I can only assume the interrupters are the switches. If you fail, leave your wagon and restart to leave your wagon to restart and try again.
Do you think there's like 6 frames of walking animation here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Between 4 to 6.
One of the members of the chat is wondering why this poor child is wandering around a haunted train. Anyway.
They're going out to watch the Fearcle. I mean, isn't that what all kids want to do someday?
I'm definitely getting the stuck part of stuck in a loop from this.
Oh, you don't even know Jamie.
Don't I? I don't know from Fearcles.
Oh, that was a weird flicker there. Maybe I just have to hit that switch first. And now I cannot hit any other switch. I don't see any other switches, so...
Yeah, I don't. I mean, aside from like systematically going through every possible order, I just don't. Like, I'm not hearing the audio, so unless there's some indication in the audio, which somebody in the chat mentioned something about, like, I just don't see what kind of feedback you have to even get a sense of if you're progressing or getting closer. It seems like just process of elimination. Like,
that's not a good feeling.
no, it doesn't seem like it. It's not a great feeling to watch, to be honest. I mean, the other parts of the game like seem really quality, so it just feels like the main kind of design and feedback of these puzzles like needs a bit of work.
Oh yeah, and I could talk a lot about puzzle design.
The game has some killer ambience. I almost wish the switch puzzles weren't getting in the way as much. Followed by agreed. It seems like a trial and error puzzle, which is more frustrating.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, the atmosphere seems great. I love the presentation.
So what I understand is that if I hit this, then run, then hit this.
I was just trying to listen to the game audio for a minute to see. Tyler, like when you flip the switches, are you ever hearing any like different sounds, like a sound chime that sounds like an affirmation that you did the right thing or anything?
So I hear an increased amount of melody, like there's actual audio going on, and that's it.
Let's see.
So this just makes everything turn off. I may just call it.
Yeah, if I were you, I would have by now, to be honest. Like it's a shame because like, you know, it seems like some other people who are watching have played it, and from what they're saying, it sounds like there is more to it, but it's just kind of impenetrable from my perspective about like how to actually progress, unfortunately.
My main problem is that the progression is not well choreographed, right? If there was something in there that told me I was making progress in the right thing, doing the right thing, that would be great. I will say also, like, oh, I need to log in here. A minute. Alright, I have to do some troubleshooting. I'll be back. But yeah, no, I'm thinking to myself, like, there's a lot of great potential behind the game. It's just that there's so little that tells me what my objective is, what I need to do to make progress in the game. So I don't feel very good playing it, because I just feel so very incredibly lost as a consequence. As of this moment, I'm gonna mark it as played, and then I'll work. You know, we'll figure out what else we may have missed on a later time. But I think it's gonna be more. It's gonna serve us better if we use our time for other things instead. Yes, Chris, you said you were keeping track of the row numbers. What is the lowest row number that you have received
20.
so far? 20?
25.
25, sweet. So 25 would be Z Rhapsody.
They've been here since we went online 35 minutes ago.
Yikes. Thank you for your incredible patience. So yeah, as you can tell, I play games pretty darn thoroughly to see if I'm not missing anything. I think the game... I think the part that kind of matters the most, the scare tactic, I guess, in the game. The jump scares were, in my opinion, rather predictable. It didn't have a strong effect on me because they only trigger when you turn on the lights, right? So ultimately I felt like I had the control over the monster. And that's probably not the same feeling you want when you're trying to create like a horror experience.
It actually it reminded me a little of when I was trying to think of ideas for what to do for this jam. One thing that popped in my head was Silent Hill 2, and specifically like the amount of locked doors, like where you go through these spaces where there's like a million doors, but you know, it feels like 95% of them are just inaccessible and locked. So you like kind of walk door to door just like this one's locked, this one's locked. And it kind of watching you kind of aimlessly flip switches, it had like a similar feeling, you know, in a way that like I could see being really fitting for the theme, but I think that's probably not what they were going for.
Oh gosh, the performance in this game is not doing too well.
So, did you see the description for this, Taro?
I have not. I am gonna work on that now.
Just because they noted it's not complete.
Let's quit for a minute. It booted up very quickly, so it's all good. Was not able to complete this. It's just a small demo. Would love to get some feedback on the mood and look of the game, because that's the only thing I could work on. The game is set in surreal, uncanny universe, so the art direction is according to the story, which will make sense in the post-LD. I wanted to do a lot more for the game, but I was only able to nail the look that I wanted. It was supposed to be a game where we were stuck in a reverse loop, stuck in a loop in both space and time. Right now we're stuck in a loop in space, not time. As we die, we respawn to an earlier location. Bunch of modeling stuff and a toon shader. Yes, that's a good toon shader to use. Most of the time was spent on integrating different systems to make them working together. Was not able to make the main game loop working. I like the fact that the project's name is called Okami Brush. Okami is a fantastic game. Yeah. Can I jump off? Okay. We now know what the bottom of the universe looks like. Wow. The mouse controls are incredibly sensitive.
Yeah, it's that combined with the fact that the frame rate is pretty choppy on the stream is making it rough to watch.
Oh, it looks rough on your screen.
Yep.
You haven't even played it yet. Oh, how long can I hold this?
I just mean rough, like it's probably gonna make people motion sick.
Yeah, I know.
If you can't steady it, I would. You might need to stop it.
No, I want to find out how far this field of view goes. This keeps skewing. It's still skewing right now. What is the limit of this? Ouch. Ooh, carcasses bouncing up and down. Another good sign. This fisheye lens. Is it still going? No, I think I reached its upper limit, it sounds like. Yeah, sounds like I reached its upper limit. Also, it looks like the frame rate is not doing justice to those poor bodies. I like the parkour aspect of things. Youch.
We have 3 road numbers at the time.
Sweet. Oh, there's an actual checkpoint system. Neat. Audio could use a little bit of balancing. I mean, I can kind of tell a lot of this is made from pre-made assets, which is fine for jam purposes, so I'm not knocking you off on that, but I feel like a lot of the aesthetic seems to clash with each other. Like the sound effect does not sound, or sound effect, the voice acting does not sound like it fits with the character. The characters don't feel like they're part of this universe. The environment just does not fit with the costumes that your enemies are wearing. I really do not like this fisheye lens camera. Like, I realize what they were trying to do, but it doesn't feel like it works. Just generally speaking, when you're pulling the camera back like that for the purpose of portraying speed, it's only good when you can only use it seldomly. But when I do it like this, like, sure, I can see more of the world, but I also feel sort of motion sick too. Oh, there's some actual music. There's some actual music transition. That's actually really nice to see. I wonder what they're doing to make that work. Yeah. Alright, I think I had enough. I actually thought that was really cool. So just to let you know, we're not going to be rating on the stream per se. It's just so that we can actually get some of these games, more games played on stream. But I will mark this as played. In the meantime, Chris, can you let me know what the next game should be?
Of the 4 entries, the lowest number is 28.
28. So, the reason why I'm asking you right now is just in case I need to download this. And it looks like I do need to download this. Oh goodness. Which version are we supposed to play? Post-jam version has likely addressed all of these. Bug fixes are allowed for jam builds. It's worth noting.
The developer of the game said the bottom one.
Okay, perfect. Alright, so while it is downloading that, I should have went back to the Z Rhapsody one. I'm sorry, my computer is like the weakest thing in the universe, so I probably did not give the viewers any justice in the playthrough of the game. It probably, like, really, really poorly performed. I've mentioned earlier that the mouse controls are incredibly sensitive, and that to me is pretty bad. I just had to like leave the mouse still, but then I also had to click to fight, so that just didn't feel good. I mentioned earlier that I thought that the art style in a lot of ways felt rather disjointed. Like, I can tell that the skin of a lot of these characters are cel shaded, but the world didn't feel like that, and most certainly the textures of the world are too like detailed that even if you made it toon shaded, it probably wouldn't have felt like it fit in universe. So I feel like there needed to be a little more time to get both the shaders and the general look and the art style to be more consistent. Parts I liked. I always should start with the parts I like. I'm sorry. overall, I didn't think the movement was bad. I thought the movement, in fact, was one of the more enjoyable parts of the game. I wish the run was a little more faster, but I'm really glad that there is a sprint mechanic in there. There's the world felt large, and it was interesting for me to explore it. There was like a very clear incentive for me to see what's behind that wall, or how do if I can parkour on top of rooftops, then where else can I go? So there was a lot of really interesting things, and there was a really strong potential of exploration in the game, which, quite frankly, is really ambitious for a jam game. I probably would not recommend taking that direction the next game jam, but nonetheless, the fact that it was there and I was like entertaining the idea to give it a shot was really interesting to me. So I kind of, if I wanted to see more of that game, I certainly would like to see more of that specific perspective explored. There's a clear understanding and use of particle effects. I feel like there could have been a little more better implemented per se, but the fact that you have some of them at all is actually a pretty good signifier to me that the person working on this has a pretty good understanding of presentation in the game. And so, like, a lot of my criticisms that I had about graphics and art style not being consistent, I mean that as more as sort of like I accept that this person did not have a lot of time to work on this game. So most likely I feel like that's what happened. They just worked whatever they can find and whatever they had. Totally understandable, makes perfect sense to me. Yeah, I definitely think given the time and effort, there's a good reason for me to believe that this person can very easily and quickly get that criticism squared away and actually get like a clean looking, beautiful looking game pretty easily. And that's just discerning literally from the set of particle effects being used alone. There's a clear understanding of like the effects and the effort and the details necessary to make a game look and feel good. I did think that the combat was really weak, and mainly the reason why I thought so was because the range of your attacks were not really that well choreographed. You have these particle effects that tells you that you swung a weapon, and you have these animations, that tells you swung the weapon, but they didn't, especially when you use the fisheye lens, the sprint camera view, that silhouette didn't really register that well to me, and it felt like your weapon was really, really short, right? So that's probably something that needs both balancing in a hitbox sort of sense, but also more importantly in a graphical sense. If the player does not realize that the graphics is, graphically the attack range feels short, they're always going to feel like that is a weak weapon, or at least that is a very close range weapon. So your graphics, the graphic design and the particle effect should inform the user how much range their attack actually has, and that just becomes like a balancing act of playing around with different parameters, seeing if you like it, and having it play tested and see if everyone else likes it. Usually, the larger the range, the better. Especially when the camera is so far pulled back, then the arc of the attack has to be the one silhouette that the user is supposed to be able to read from nearly every angle. I think that about summarizes it. I'm not going to criticize too much about the AI. It's just pathfinding and then slapping our player. Fine. Makes sense. That's probably what you had the time to implement. So nothing wrong with that. Yeah, that's about it. I don't know if Jamie or Chris wants to add anything.
I just got comments from the developer in the chat.
Yeah.
Thanks for the quick playthrough. This demo was made in approximately 24 hours. I had to other work during the jam. So yeah, lots of things are improved, and the feedback is really helpful. The verticality of the level is supposed to be a way to play the game by avoiding conflict altogether.
Yeah, that's interesting. The only comment that sprang to mind watching you play it was that on some level it reminded me of Crackdown, and I mean that as a compliment. I think mostly, to be honest, it was just the character design of the enemy in particular. I feel like a lot of people in the Crackdown series are wearing body armor stuff, but I think the verticality. It's interesting that you mentioned the verticality of the levels, because obviously that's another big thing in Crackdown. But I think, Tara, what you're saying about the movement, I mean, it was hard to tell watching you play, because it was, like I said, it was a little bit choppy. But if the movement is already starting to feel good or being one of the stronger parts, then you can just add little bits and make it into a little playground. And to me, that's kind of what Crackdown was, or that was the strength of it, was they kind of just leaned into the playground aspect of just jumping around, doing wacky stuff, and just try to make that aspect feel good.
The platforming felt a little weak to me.
Gotcha.
I did have aerial, so mainly because of the wacky geometry. I could, for some reason, hang on a sliver of a beam that's barely poking out of a wall, as an example. And other times, I would have a hard time, jumping around a corner. I didn't feel like I had nearly as much aerial control when it came to hugging a wall. I feel like that kind of just stopped my velocity, and that didn't feel good. It would have been nice. I don't know if there's double jump in the game. I didn't test that. It would have been nice if there was. That would have helped a little bit. I do think that, as mentioned earlier, exploration was, I thought, the most interesting part. So verticality certainly expands upon that, and that makes it really interesting to me. I would just be a little careful on how much leeway you give for the platforming aspect of the game, because I can see not traveling around the ground base to find stuff to be something that players will be incentivized to avoid if they're going to be constantly jumping off of rooftops all the time. Sorry, I have a lot to talk about, and I haven't even gone into the next game yet, so I probably should do that.
We got 4 people waiting on the list.
Darn! And we're already an hour in the stream.
Yep. So might want to pick up the pace.
Such a taskmaster, Chris.
Alright, so description of this game. How to play. Roll the dice to traverse the board using the roll button. Use the mouse to interact with the interface. The card game layout can be explained with the below images. Holy crud. What? Support cards. These cards can be used to modify cards that you've already revealed. Slot cards. Use action points. You can reveal the face down slot cards. Only when the slot card is revealed can you place a character card upon it. A new row of slot cards are added at each round. Oh no. Oh no! I have to actually memorize all this. Player cards. Those cards are the character in your party. Drag and drop the character onto the slot card and perform an action. Action points. Okay, that makes sense. Enemy cards. These cards are enemies you face in battle. Hover the enemy to see their special abilities. Okay, so okay, these are not too bad. This. Okay, there's gonna be a lot for me to interpret. There's a power amount of damage when attacking. Wisdom. Provide your party with action points. Interesting. Luck, increase crit and dodge chance, and vitality. Cool.
Apparently, there's a tutorial in the game as well.
All right. Well, thank you for letting me know of that. That would have saved me. That will save me a lot of time.
Also, if there's issue with frame rate, he recommends changing the graphics to low.
Oh, I see. Quality low. Yeah, this looks to me like an Unreal game. And I have experience with Unreal. We're going low. Start game. Let's go with easy.
In the kingdom of Cattenburg, there were a group of adventurers who wanted nothing more than to go on adventure. But ever since the curse was placed on Cattenburg, none of its inhabitants were able to leave. Whichever road they took, they'd wind up back in Cattenburg. Rumour has it, there are 3 parts of an ancient relic, which could, perhaps, be pivotal in breaking the curse.
Okay, so there's a narrative stuck in a loop. And oh gosh, the cards are nigh unreadable on my screen.
Oh no. That's rough.
A cat runs towards your party, panting heavily. The rats are here. Be wary ahead, she shouts before sprinting away. Okay, got it. You're arriving in a clearing, relieved that there are no rats in sight. Okay. You spot a pack of Lee rats over the ridge of the hill. This is a good opportunity to ambush them. Let's ignore them. We come in peace.
Is it Vlee or Vile?
You sense that you're being watched, and you were right. A rat pack sweep to attack to catch the party off guard. Let's escape. The rats won't let you get away that easy. The rat pack attack is on you. Okay, click on a slot card to reveal them each. Click on a slot card to reveal them. Each reveal will cost an action point. Got it. Oh, whoops. I didn't notice I was clicking so fast. Wait, how'd you attack? Alright. Support. Change card to target. Okay, well, I'm gonna open this slot. Attack. Regular attack on the enemy with the weakest power. Sure. Heal allies. Ah, I see. So if I plop that there. Okay, one of them fell. Destroy an enemy support card. Sure. Can I move this? No, I can't. What? Destroy an enemy support card. Can I destroy this? Apparently not. So there's a cat and a rat theme. Interesting.
Support cards are the green teal ones either side of the board. Also, other comments are like it's moving slow. There's a voiceover. Someone reading, yelling Cattenburg.
The party looks for any pieces of mystical relic, but there is nothing to be found. Darn. The party looks around for pieces of a mystic relic, but there was still nothing to be found. You sense that you're being watched, and you were right. Can we attack? We only have 3 action points. And the enemy starts. I would like a fast forward button. I don't know what that card does because the resolution is too low. Bully. Regular attack on with the lowest health. Sure, I'll do that. Special. Allow the character to perform the bespoke special ability. Does that... What happens if I do that? Cool. Attack, which does nothing.
A developer says, keep in mind your game speed is going slow, so that probably doesn't help me.
Is this an Unreal game, by the way? So far, the presentation is really excellent. I would assume. And
Yeah, it seems super polished.
Right. What happens if I escape? No, they don't let me. We're not going to survive very long at this rate. Oh, we start. Sweet. So I like this, like, reveal the card mechanic. There's a really cool risk. There's a real cool sense of risk behind it. That really did not do anything, huh? The unfortunate thing is I don't know what cards are possible in the slot cards, so it does feel like that is not great.
We just got some more info about the kind of rules or the flow of play. Chris, did you want to read it, or do you want me to?
You can read it.
Okay. Yeah, so on the Stand Games, I think one of the developers says, so just to summarize the flow of play, you have action points. They are used to both reveal cards and to place your character on the card.
Right.
Revealed cards do nothing until you put a character on.
Right. That's my understanding.
Go on to say,
well,
cool.
With an exception of trap cards, apparently.
Cool. So they wrote a little bit more. So the rest of what they said was the cards move down a row each time, so you can try to memorize locations of good cards. Green cards allow you to transform already revealed cards if they weren't favorable. So that was their explanation for context. I don't know if any of that illuminates anything for you, but
the tip The tip on trying to hit them, trying to reveal the upper cards is actually a good one. I didn't even think about that, so that's a good point. You stumble upon a legendary fountain replenishment. Drinking from a fountain, you replenish a large amount of health. I guess that's good. Looks like I'm gonna be ambushed again. Nope, never mind. You wonder what adventuring outside the Kingdom of Cattenburg will be like one day. That's some good filler text, actually. I kind of appreciate that. Some more vile rats. Sure, let's ambush them. Wow. There's a lot of rats. Sure, let's hit that one. Special. Allow the perform to bespoke their special ability. They have 15, this one has 30. What happens if I select that? Oh, it did absolutely nothing. This one place a character card to attack or defend a character in slot E2. Sure, I'm gonna go here.
I'll be back in just a minute.
Sweet.
One of the other members of the chat said that they downloaded the game just to get a proper feel of how quickly the game normally plays, and then said, "Wow." And the developer said, "Yeah, we want to indicate a character is on full health to prevent those healing situations."
Ouch. Okay, interesting, so that the enemies can actually use these card knowledges. E2, which is not useful. Enemy support card. Yeah. Attack E2. Sure. Cool.
Welcome back, adventurers!
Your party arrives back at the village. Funny, it seems no matter which path you take during your adventure, you wind back up here. An adventurer approaches you and asks you to join the party. What say you? Welcome! We don't have a choice. The party looks where
They have a
Go on.
They have a temporary workaround right now. If you hover your mouse over your character, it will show you your base attributes in the top right.
Oh, interesting. Okay. You come across a traveler selling a single potion set to increase your vitality. Usually merchants, okay, always the healer. Always turn your healer a tank. Which was a hilariously exploitable, exploitable thing you can do in Skies of Arcadia, which I thought was like the funniest thing. You spot a pack of vile rats. Let's ambush them. We only have 2 action points. Oh, 5, okay. Miss. Waste action points revealing this card. Oh, interesting. Sure. I'll warrior you. Sure, let's heal everyone just in case. Okay, that did absolutely nothing.
Miss is a bad card.
Yes, I realized that. Thank you, though. AI sure likes to make some good moves. agree. Yeah, that sounds good.
You did heal warrior.
Yes, I did that on purpose.
And someone new just joined the stream.
Sweet. Well, I guess I'm gonna end that turn because I don't know why I didn't attack, but oh well. Because I guess they only defend.
Posting the row numbers.
Okay, that's useful information. Sure.
So EMP cards, basically if you play a character for your team on a P card, they will defend the character. If you go on the E cards, they will attack. The slots are labeled on the bottom.
Interesting. No, I'm slowly making sense out of this. They attack my tank. Oh, because that's a P card. Got it. Hide. Sure. I'll hide my other character. And that didn't do anything.
It has a learning curve.
Ouch. You know what, I'm gonna call this. I feel like the roll die animation could have been slightly improved. Healer. Power 2. I kind of want the tank to be more powerful than they are right now. What's this vortex? You come across a piece of mysterious relic. There are rumors that the vile rat Mobius has previously used the power of an ancient relic to place curses. Let me know at any point in this stream you think I should stop playing.
Welcome back, adventurers!
This one is Power of 3, Wisdom of 3, Luck, and Vitality. I'm gonna skip. I'm going to regret that, I know, but whatever. Two action points? All 6s.
One of the comments in the chat is it has a learning curve and it needs real dice. So I responded that if we buy the game, the devs should send a set of dice to you.
Special. Oh, interesting.
Currently 6:17 and we have 4 people on the list. You want to wrap up soon?
Yeah, I should wrap up soon. Let's call this battle the last one. Oh, they revealed a P. Okay, random enemy. Do it. Sweet.
So you land on the relic tile 3 times and you face the boss.
But there's only one relic spot each cycle, right? Oh, interesting.
From Honest Dan Games, you probably got a flavor of the game. Generally, you're looking to reveal cards, improve them with the support cards if needed, and then choose the optimal way to place characters based on their strength. War does damage, priest heals, war can also absorb a lot of damage, and their specials represent their purpose, though all can attack.
So that's a Curse of the Cattenburg.
Yep. 33 is the next number if you want to get started. While you review the
Right, 33 to Dude Ranch.
Yeah.
What do they run? There's a cartoony butt in the countdown timer. Nothing you've seen worse in the Looney Tunes, though. Yeah, let's download this.
Do you want to do your critique of Honest Dan Games first, or do you want me to read their comments from the chat?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just reviewing something here. It's a little weird.
Sure.
Well, feel free to read the comments first while I'm doing that.
Okay. So they corrected that they meant tank in a previous comment. And then, thanks for giving it time. I know it didn't work great on your setup, so appreciate you giving it time. Unreal and not knowing how to optimize.
I'll have to play this game. I may stop playing it short in the middle, depending. The reason why I say that is because of the fact that we need to, enforce a code of conduct. There's nothing in here that immediately makes me go no, but I can see it going in a direction where I'll have to say no, we're not streaming this any further.
Okay.
Unless Jamie, you disagree with me.
Has Jamie returned yet?
Yeah, I just got back. I haven't had time to look at it enough to know, but yeah, it looks like it could go either way. Like, it looks like a funny concept. The only thing that made me think it was that somebody in the chat said that the game was going to break their TOS, but I'm assuming they're just kind of goofing around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I say we give it a shot, and of course, reserve the right to stop if there is anything that's actually against our code of conduct in there. But so far, it seems fine to me, from what I can see.
Their content warning is nothing worse than you've seen in Looney Tunes. So,
yeah.
Right. So what else was I going to say? In regards to the game that we just played, the Curse of the Cattenburg, I like it. I genuinely do. I mean, obviously, it's kind of a board game turned digital, which is interesting. But yeah, no, it's not as complex as I thought it was going to be. The tutorial was streamlined well enough that I can make sense of how to play the game, how to figure out the mechanics about it pretty quickly. I sounded really dismissive when Chris was going through all the comments and saying like these are the ways to figure it out, and like there's these mechanics in there. And the only part that I thought was really difficult for me to comprehend was the P and the E part, the P and the E spaces. Not to mention, in my setup specific case, I couldn't even read most of it because the resolution was so low on my computer. And that's not your fault, that's just my setup. Did not have the power available to really bring the best out of that game. So if anything, that's my fault. But I thought, actually, through just trial and error, that I was able to figure out most of the mechanics, at least to a point where I needed to perform optimally. And I give a lot of credit to the developers for that. They did a lot to really inform you of how to play, of how to understand what the heck is going on. So I actually really like that part. There's an interesting, unique mechanic where the game board is like Monopoly, where you're just constantly walking into circles, and that's, you know, the fact that Monopoly is like the only game that comes to mind that does that pretty often is kind of telling to me, right? Like, why don't more board games do that? Why are they always just one directional? So I thought that was like a really interesting concept going on in there. I didn't particularly like the fact that the relic spaces felt random. What I mean to say by this is there doesn't seem to be, in the board game phase, a way for me to adjust how many spaces I move. Sort of in the same way like in Mario Party games, where you can get like a 3-sided die, or two dice rolls to increase or to respectively decrease or increase the number of spaces you go for. And I think some sort of mechanic like that, it doesn't necessarily have to be like, oh, with this card you can move one more space or whatever. It doesn't have to be that sort of precision, but it would have been nice to add in certain items or mechanics that would have allowed you to have more control over how many spaces you moved in the board game space area. In particular, I would have probably introduced anything that allowed you to move you backwards with, maybe there's an exception written on that where it says you cannot return back to your home base. That's the upper limit you can go back to. But that would have been nice to see. The presentation again was excellent. Music, sound, all that jazz. I did feel certain stats. Well, I don't know. I need to play around a little more to see what I felt about the stats. And what I mean to say is like what I thought was useful and what I didn't think was useful. The crit rate one, for example, was bizarre to me. I didn't know what dictated that, which is really strange because a lot of the board game elements were really transparent in their implementation and what those stats actually did. But the luck one was very hard for me to tell. I think that's about it that comes to mind when it comes to criticism. Constructive criticism, of course. Jamie, any thoughts?
I don't have as many thoughts as I would like. I have to apologize. I had to step out for part of that while you were playing it. So, to be honest, I didn't get a chance to absorb the mechanics too much. But what was immediately apparent was that the presentation was really polished.
Yeah, top tier.
I thought that was super impressive. And just having worked as a designer on games where I had to make a tutorial, I mean, just thinking of how it took like ages and ages to get the tutorial right. I'm always impressed by a game that has like a lot of rules to explain, and actually manages to get in like a decent looking tutorial in the span of a game jam. So it's always hats off, for getting that in there. It seemed like like you said in the chat, there's always things that you wish you had been able to like get in the explanation for. But from what I saw, what you had in there was like a remarkably well done tutorial for a jam game.
Mm-hmm. And the card's description too were remarkably descriptive. I give a lot of credit for that. I was able to figure out a lot of the effects and not feel lost about it. Again, the P and the E is the only thing that I felt pretty lost on. Alright, so we're booting up Dude Ranch. This may, given our rate of playing games, this may be our last one.
Welcome to Dude Ranch.
Okay.
We got 31 minutes left.
But I mean, have you noticed how long? Oh, WASD and throw. Oh, this is actually like a legit 3D game. Oh wow, I really like the graphical aesthetics of this. The flat shading and everything. Oh, so it's golf mechanic right here, or billiard mechanic. Sweet. And then pull. I got this. Alright, got it.
Howdy, partner.
Yeah! This ain't bad. Oh, okay. Oh, this one's heavy.
Fair warning from the developer, it's a bit of a risk blaster.
A risk blaster? What's going on here?
He is also saying probably should have put a health and safety warning on this one.
What's going on here? I can't wrap them in. No, I'm stuck. I can't even move.
Are you glitching?
Yes, I'm glitching.
Okay. You managed to hit the one game-breaking bug.
As I always do!
You got 5 seconds before the time runs out.
Interesting. Oh.
Okay, time's...
Alright, this is really cute, I really like this. The humor doesn't really make me think any one way or the other. I do get this is supposed to be a visual irony. You know, a horse wrangling humans. Maybe our life has just come to this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. It's interesting that you can move while lassoing. That's an interesting strategy that you can use to adjust your aim in case it doesn't work. In case you're not doing too well. The WASD control. Well, that's probably because I have carpal tunnel. The WASD control in particular is a little harsh. Maybe I just need to get a better keyboard. Honestly, that doesn't mean anything. Don't take what I say about that too seriously. I think that, like, the mouse control is fine for the most part. Yay! Alright, I think I got enough of the idea.
Welcome to Dude Ranch.
I love the sound effect when you're like reeling in the lasso.
Yeah, no, that's really good. I liked it. That game was more fun than I expected. Next, I guess we still have a few more games up available to us, so we should probably start tackling those. Chris,
35.
35. Again, let us know of your row numbers if you just came in.
You mean we're not going to talk about Dude Ranch for 30 minutes? I'm very disappointed. Really? In all honesty, I think that was a great entry. Like,
yeah. Oh, this is actually a web game. Sweet. I echo what Jamie said. Didn't mean to talk over him.
No, you're fine. Go for it.
The weird part was the fact that you had to move your mouse to the opposite direction of where you're lassoing. I guess that was meant to be for an added challenge. To be fair, because I can see that game being really easy without it. So there was a certain tactile feel to that mechanic that I do appreciate. It does feel like you're, flinging a rubber band when you're doing something in the opposite direction. So maybe that was the intent behind it, to give it that sort of like tactile, lasso-like feeling. Again, I like the visual humor behind the fact that, again, you're a horse wrangling humans. So, fine. You know what? Whatever. This is where the world has finally come to. We finally did it, everyone. The controls definitely had some really interesting take to them, like the fact that you had to toggle between left and right mouse buttons. I wonder if it works well for Macs, which usually only has one button to deal with. Like, Jamie, do you think you'll be able to play it on your MacBook?
Well, probably not on my current MacBook, since it seems to be going bonkers and it's possessed. But
yeah, like if somebody only has like a touchpad, disregarding the fact that touchpad makes aiming harder anyways. I wonder like how you would deal with that situation. But yeah, no, I did like the controls though. I'm being only critical of it because it seems very platform specific, and that might be something you might want to work around in the near future. It is, sadly to me, like a really short arcade game, which is, for a Game Jam game, totally fine. It's certainly, I only say that because sometimes I am often looking for games that I feel like can be expanded upon. And I see that there are definitely ways to expand upon this game. What's here just feels a little minimal right now. I would like to see power-ups and maybe even certain obstacles and level configurations to further expand the game. Maybe even boss levels. But of course, these are all I would like to see, not actual criticisms to the game that is currently there itself. Obviously, there was that one bug that I dealt with. It's hard for me to tell what the little bonus coin, the tiny bonus coin that you get. That part is interesting to me. It's not really well explained as part of the action of the game. So you may want to look into fleshing out a little more on the score system, maybe adding in like a combo system and having like a clear explanation somewhere It doesn't have to be part of the tutorial. The tutorial was actually really good, by the way. Thank you for that. Doesn't have to be part of the tutorial, but like, you know, maybe you can put in like, hey, for pro players, you should click here, and if you click here, it'll give you the thorough explanation of how the score system works. I think a lot of people will just kind of play it for the silly fun factor, and that's totally fine. But there's going to be some people who are going to be feeling more competitive because you put the score system in there. And I think it would be a good idea to be a little more transparent about how that system works. Speaking as someone who fails to do that all the time, I always get that criticism, in other words.
We got comments coming in from the developers.
Sweet.
Lots of folks said they would have preferred if the lasso was launched in the direction you drag the mouse. It's literally something we never considered. Probably would have caught it during playtesting if we had the time.
Mm-hmm.
Having others playtest the jam seems super important for polish, but it's tough to get all those nice things. Dragging it to the opposite side makes sense on mobile because you don't want to put your finger where you want to shoot.
Yes, that is absolutely correct.
Every time you click to pull a dude in, the more bonus points you get. That's at least what the tiny coins are supposed to represent.
Mm-hmm.
And conveying all the systems in your games, it's hard. Definitely agree.
Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now that you explain it as you were imagining it to be a mobile-like game. Yeah, obviously with a PC, it's a very different story. That actually explains why the game feels so tactile. There's a certain feel you're trying to emulate with mobile games that you can do because it's using a touchscreen. So actually, that's an interesting observation that I made there to make it feel like a rubber band. You're pulling a rubber band. That's sort of like the allegory, or that's sort of like the metaphor I used. It seems like that was intentional. Interesting. But yeah, for those not in the know, the reason why you don't want to aim something where your finger is at on mobile is because your finger covers the screen. So, therefore, you run into that problem. Sweet. Let's get started in the next game, unless there's anything else that Chris or Jamie you want to add in. I hope all these like incredibly long ramblings are useful for all the viewers.
We got 35, 36, and 37 left. That should bring us to about 7.
Yeah, I didn't have anything left to add on Dude Ranch other than awesome work. It was really funny.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing the next game.
Alright, the lucky Lefty loves loop. The lucky Lefty loves loop, the luminous life that a leftward-leaning snail leads, like into a long-lost love that you never knew you left. Play as Lucky Left as you uncover the meaning of the universe. Navigate your way through the loops. Watch out for rude righties getting in your way for not fitting in. Try to get the personal best lap time and compare with friends. Can you beat my score of 33? Don't forget to find out what's at the end of the loop. Okay. WASD or arrow keys are to restart the lap. Escape to go back to the previous screen. Cool. Okay. Start.
Tara, when this is over, you might want to rewatch the stream just to catch all the comments coming in.
Oh?
There's some pretty good ones.
Okay, so the movement controls is tank controls, which took me a while to register. Also, 33 seconds. I'm not sure how I feel about whether my snails are in love or not. Oh, I guess I made it to the end. Yay! Oh. Well, that's cool. That's a very cool visual effect.
Oh man, nice. What was that game? There was this Jason Rohrer game that had like an effect kind of like that.
Yeah,
So-
you introduced it to me, seeing that the recursive dollhouse reminded you of that too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, apologies everybody. I'm always telling people what their game idea is reminiscent of. I'm sure it's obnoxious for folks to hear about all the time. But it's meant as a compliment.
Maybe if I go backwards. Yeah, look at that. Oh no! I forgot my controls are reversed if I go backwards. I was thinking I was being truly radical if I went backwards.
Backwards is a legit speedrun stat.
The backward long jump. Super
Yeah.
Mario 64. Ah, 38. Alright, cool. I think I got it. I can't hear much music. Is there supposed to be music? Or did I just make the Firefox really low? Oh, there actually is music. Whoops, I should have listened to it. Oh, okay. Backward strategy proving to be a bad idea.
There is music.
Yep. I decreased the volume of Firefox ridiculously low. So that was the reason why I didn't even hear it. We were doing a sound test and I was checking it against a YouTube video. Just of a video review of another video game. So that's why I decreased the Firefox volume, thinking that most games would be on WebGL, so yeah. I should talk about rating this game, and not actually rate it, because we want to move on to the next entry. Which one was the next entry, by the way, Chris? We just went through 35.
36.
I did not rate this yet. 36, which is Break. OBS doesn't really like Game Maker 2 games. Fair enough. We'll see if we'll see if it works. Do you have to install this game? I hope I don't. In the meantime, so yeah, that Lefty Loopy game, it's a lot simpler than I thought. Yeah, I don't know how I like the twist, right? The reveal that you've been inside your own shell for the entire time. Like I like that twist a lot, actually. The the whole story then just kind of felt like a not nonsensical. It just felt like it was just being funny. But like I don't feel like it really added anything to the game specifically. Just that, you're going in spiral. It's interesting that the game seems to have like not just tank controls, but also a boat-like movement to it. Like it feels a lot like bumper cars in a lot of ways. I wonder what the intent behind that was. Was it just like quick and easy to put that together, and thus that's how you did it, or is there like a particular intent or reasoning behind that? It's nice that when a snail is in your way, they can still kind of push them away from you, and that's kind of like a useful technique to get a little further. But I don't know. It just a lot of times it felt like the controls were pretty slippery. Which, to be fair, I guess you are playing a snail, so there's that too. I thought it was really simple, so to speak. There's just there were AI-controlled obstacles, and that seemed to register based off of vicinity. And the fact that you have this one goal where you're trying to get from the inside to the out. And that was about it. Yeah, it's almost too simple for me to put much more criticism behind. I do kind of wish again that the movements were a little more tighter. I'm not sure how you would go upon doing that, given that the game seems to feel like it's intentionally more physics based. And again, that has a lot of its advantages. It seemed like it had a lot of its advantages. It also, didn't make me feel like I was always in control, which is probably not a good feeling when you have like a racing game. You always want to make sure you feel like you have control over your situation so that you can manage with the speed that you're going. Although then again, you're not going very fast in this game either, so maybe I'm just asking for too much. I don't know. Yeah, that's basically what I have, I guess. Is there anything else that anyone else wants to add?
I got nothing.
No, just that I thought the zoom out effect was really effective, and I think for me sometimes for a game jam like that's all I need. It's just like a cool little moment like that, something that makes it like stick with me.
No, that's fair. I mean, you are in the position of watching at this point, so
definitely.
I do appreciate, based off of this animated Zyph, that the body has no collision whatsoever. It's only the shell that does. Good call. I like that. Appreciated. It does screw with your mind a little bit though, because as a consequence, you want to avoid the walls more, and I don't know if that was intentional. Yeah, cool. I think this will be our last game, unfortunately. So before I hit run there, I have to. Okay, cool.
Developer for the Snail game says thanks for playing, and they were trying to make it feel more whimsical.
I see. Let me know if the volume is too loud of the game, that is. A mysterious machine appears overnight. When the glowing glass, you make out a familiar glyphs used in unfamiliar ways. In Break, you play as a wizard who must save the townsfolk from monsters summoned by the machine. I don't know, it's really loud on my headphones, so I'm going to lower that a little bit. Break is an incremental top-down shooter where the looping code on the computer changes the game world. As you slay monsters and gain gold, you collect discs. These discs are sent to the computer and lengthen the script. Programming knowledge is not required to play, however it may strengthen your experience. Okay, let's give it a shot. Oh, it's not... F to full screen. There we go. Spacebar to continue. Oh, you're a computer wizard. E. Lovely weather we're having! Hey, wizard. The thing has words on it? Sorry, I'm illiterate. I wonder if the slimes will make for good butter. Oh, I like the water. That's cool. Please, wizard, save us from the slimes! We should smash it! Maybe not. This weird machine is summoning monsters. I'm scared, wizard. Save us. Oh, we're in Isekai now. A mysterious relic showed up this morning. It seems to be summoning slimes. Hopefully you can stop it. Sure. Forever. New. Press spacebar to close the computer. I can't change this? Come on. Yes. Bring me gold and I'll bring you discs. Now scram. Slay the beast and I reward you with discs. Go on now. Wanna die? I give you a disc for 3 hearts. Hey wizard, I found this weird disc. Maybe it has something to do with machine? Spawn and spawn blue gold. Okay, cool. Oh, that's cool. These slimes aren't harming people, come on.
Tara, just so you know, at least for me, the game audio is a bit too loud on the stream.
Alright. As I
yeah, you're still like audible, so it doesn't need to be turned down a ton, just a little bit.
I'm going to lower it a ton anyways. That is how I roll.
Alright.
No, the audio's, the music I like a lot. I appreciate the suction cup, or the suction movement with the gold and everything. Anyways, they said they'll give you gold, I guess. Another happy customer. Righteous. Here's your disc, wizard. Enemy set speed 2.5. Enemy set HP to 2. That's not good. What was the point of that? I do get it though, you're stuck in a for loop. It sounds like the monsters just kind of spawn off screen. Interesting. So what happens if I just stand here? Oh, they do come up. Okay, yeah, they're just spawned off screen. Interesting. Okay, you can just hold down the mouse button. And rapidly clicking it does not increase their fire rate. Good call. Gold value is increased, okay. So juice element here, so there's knockback, but there's no particle effect. I would definitely add some sort of particle effect to your one shots to kind of give it a feel that, oh yeah, you actually hit something. Maybe even a small hit pause would be a good idea as well. Hit pauses, of course, is when time stops ever so briefly. Righteous, here's your disc. Another happy customer. Enemy set HP to 3. Gold set value to 2. Choose between slime or wisp. Spawn enemy. Gold or heart. Okay, interesting. Those certainly are wisps. These like completely ancillary characters are interesting. Oh, ouch.
The developer says, "Oh yeah, I did that for one of my larger projects. That felt great."
Ouch. My standing still and aim strategy is not working. This game must be nerfed as a consequence of my poor play.
This has a pretty satisfying and rewarding game loop.
Righteous, here's your disc. Another happy customer. It's interesting that you have such a short range, because it makes aiming for wisps a little harder. I do appreciate the escalation of difficulty based off of the player's input, so I think that's good.
I like the way the pickups sort of like move towards you when you're in range.
Yeah.
It's nice.
There's, what, gold? Interesting. Oh, out. Oh, only one of them was active at the same time. Oh no, slowdowns! No, don't fail at me, Game Maker. We just started.
Now it's 7 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm enjoying myself. I'll see myself to the end with this. Hopefully it's not. I don't have much more to deal with in the game. Righteous, here's your wizard. Yes, bring me gold. Do I know? Oh, I don't have enough. Interesting. Gold. Okay, well, that explains that. So I should try to upgrade, or I should try to submit my discs as soon as possible. Interesting.
There are 15 total discs, so you should be close.
I do appreciate that you gave this hint that there's an out weapon on the bottom right-hand corner, which is why I was able to figure out that right-click is what you're supposed to click to register that. So, like, that foreshadowing was really useful to me. I think that was really clever design choice. I'm a little cautious sacrificing my hearts. Another happy customer. Set firing speed to 12. Player shoot. Okay, so that just increases the fire rate significantly.
Seems odd you can't collect more than 3 hearts, according to one commenter.
Yeah, I'm noticing that. Which is probably a good thing. Yep, confirmed. Another happy customer. I've been told to scram. Break! Congratulations, user. You're a coding wizard! We did it! Shutting down. That's cute. Yeah, this is gonna be our last game. But yeah, thoughts so far. I I thought this was really cute. I actually enjoyed myself for it. It is easy. I definitely think it was a little too slow at the beginning. It ramps up nicely. So I think the progression was great. The beginning could have brought a little more action sooner. I know that's one of the more harder parts of the game because you already have all these NPCs that you can talk to and kind of get the story behind and get a little more context behind it. So it would have been nice if there was one way, I guess. Well, no, I guess there was one. Like the slimes only came in when I looked at the computer, right? If memory serves correct. If that's the case, I'm just complaining about nothing. It would have been nice to at least increase the the number of slimes that came in a little more than what you originally started with, just so that the player has more to get started with. It's only like the first beginning lull that I really had a lot to complain about. The only other stuff are just general polish, which I'm sure there's like this game is already pretty darn polished from the first place. There's a lot of great audio. There's a lot of great art and graphics behind it. The progression and the balancing alone, I'm sure, took a lot of time. So these are just like really small nitpicks, but I definitely would like to see more in regards to presentation, especially with like camera shakes, screen flashes, hit pauses, all that sort of usual juice added into the game. And it would have been really nice to see more particle effects as well. It would have been nice to see like more this game come together a little more than what we have right now. I hope at least my OBS worked totally fine and actually was able to stream this game perfectly. Let me know, Chris, if it wasn't able to. I did like the computer as a way of introducing new elements. It's really cool that you had this progression system where it was based off of how much power-ups you received, right? That makes it easy for me to progress the game faster if I wanted to, or not. So I thought that was really cool. It was a shame that you didn't have a lot of choice into how the game would progress. But I thought that was interesting. It just came to me now what the whole point of the title was. You broke out of the loop. It's a break point. Makes sense. And that's cute. I appreciate the programming humor in there. Those are the big stuff that I was able to come up with. The controls were fine and intuitive. I never felt like I never felt like the game was unfair. I just always felt like a game was too easy, if anything. I would get hit, and I felt like that was my fault for taking that. It would have been nicer to slightly adjust the hitbox of the wizard versus the enemy, ever so slightly, not significantly so. It wasn't bad enough for me to care that much, but it would have been more nice to see it aligned a little closer to what recent top-down shooters are more like, where your character hitbox is like the tiniest dot ever. But that's just me, and I'm being picky. The game was not hard, so it really was not. That sort of detail was probably not necessary from the first place. Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, Jamie, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I thought it was. I think cute is a good description of certainly of the art style. I like the art style a lot, and the little bread person. Actually, I was really pleasantly surprised by it. In one way in particular, in that whenever I see a game that has like a coding interface in it, and I've seen this in some other Game Jam games, like even past games we played for Ludum Dare or Ludum Dare. And I don't know, my heart kind of sinks like whenever I see that in the game. I don't know why. It's like a weird bias I have. I guess because it's hard to do it well. And I think it's like tempting. I think it's an idea that when you know how to code, occurs to a lot of people. But I often find it to be just like unnecessarily like an opaque interface. Even speaking as someone who knows how to code, like it just feels like unintentionally gatekeepy. Like if you don't know how to code, it feels a little bit like playing an old school like parser based text adventure or something, like a Zork kind of thing, where it's just like it didn't necessarily need to be this interface. You could have a similar way of affecting the world, but in a like presentation that's more intuitive. And so I say that I was pleasantly surprised by your game because like I think you simplified it, and you even say in your description, which I like, that like you don't need to know how to code. It's not a prerequisite. And you're just kind of getting these sort of like quest rewards of these discs and dropping them in. So I would love to see sort of like a little middle ground there. I don't know if your goal in like having the coding thing is just sort of like for a fun in joke, or if you might want to like use this to teach some basic coding. So I think it depends on which direction you want to go with that stuff. But yeah, I liked that you weren't having to like go in and type in the in-game equivalent of like a text editor, some coding commands, because I just find, there are some games where that's cool, where the game is like about hacking or whatever, but more often than not, I find it like something that I wish was done in a different way,
right?
Where the player could like achieve the same effects without having to parse like a programming language.
It's interesting you mentioned that, because I felt like the coding interface part was just there for joke purposes and really served absolutely nothing else. It's just, it's only aesthetic. But now that I think of it, it's like, what if you were told what the discs were written, so you have a choice between what disk you feed into the computer. Like that, I think will be really cool, because at that point you start adding into questions of how do you stack these attributes? Do you overwrite them? There's a lot of interesting potential behind that. Yeah, that's really cool.
And that like eliminates you having just the daunting thing of just having to know like what to type in, right? It's sort of like in some ways reduces your choices, or reduces the amount of like just incorrect things you can do,
right?
And just kind of pares down your options to like a meaningful set of things, where like everything you try would like have some effect rather than just being an error. And so I like that type of approach. But yeah, overall, like you said, like I agree. I think it was just kind of in there for like a joke, at least in its current form.
Right.
Which is I like the theming and all the presentation. I thought it was really cool.
Right.
Apart from that. Sorry, Taro. Go ahead.
No, I wanted to say, which is fine. That's not really a criticism. It's just an observation. Maybe that there was an idea where it's like, oh, you can insert certain lines of code in there, and that you just didn't have the time to add it in. I don't know. but I thought it was genuinely enjoyable. There's just a number of elements that I would like to see, a number of polishes I would like to see, both in presentation and in progression and balancing, to really make this like some of my top games. But it's really close. It feels really close to being there. Not to mention, I take it the game was meant to be like, you know, a one-note comedic gag game. So, you know, that probably all of the stuff I'm talking about is probably not necessary for the purpose of what the game is aiming for.
Yeah, they did. They did also mention at the bottom of the description that they submitted about 15 hours early. And yeah, I hope that everything was all right, since you noted in the description that you had to get tested for COVID during the jam. I hope that you're in good health, and same goes for everyone around you.
Yeah. Very cool. I liked it. Sweet. And that about does it, I guess. Thank you everyone for joining in on our stream. We'll have one more Ludum Dare stream, right, Jamie?
Yeah, we're gonna go from Taro's computer to my even more rickety computer next time. But please do tune in to watch us try to wrangle with my decade-old laptop. We'll be playing anything that's been submitted that will actually run on it.
We went from Chris's like awesome computer to my 2015-ish MacBook to now 2010 MacBook. The next stream is going to be next week, starting at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. That'll be on the 24th, I believe, is the day I've written, and I believe that should be a Saturday. It is indeed.
Yep.
Sweet. Yeah.
And 2 weeks after that is our extra live stream.
Yeah, so definitely check that out as well. That we start at 8 o'clock a.m. on 11/9th, was it?
7th and 8th.
Okay, fortunately that's a lot of buffer time from the election day, which I'm sure is going to be very hectic for a lot of us. So that's good. But yeah, definitely check us out, both on Twitch and on YouTube during that time. If you missed it on Saturday, we'll also be on Sunday for Extra Life, which will be on the November 8th, right? All Eastern Time, again, from 8 to 8, and then 8 to 8 for both days. But yeah, apologies that we were not able to get it through a lot of the game entries that you've provided. As you can probably tell, Jamie and I have a lot to say when we play about our games that we hope all you viewers are finding it to be very useful. We at least hope that our ramblings help you play games just as for us it's useful to evaluate and understand what works and what doesn't work in a video game. Yeah, nothing more to add beyond that. We will be posting on the Ludum Dare site again, probably on Saturday when we start the stream. As speaking of that, as for whether this will appear on our YouTube channel or not, yes, it will. As usual, since we are live streaming it on YouTube, we have set it such that the recording will be available almost immediately after we close the stream. Obviously, it'll be in processing mode, and as YouTube does YouTube, when you're going through a long live stream, it's going to cut somewhere into the end, and you have to wait until it finishes processing, which takes about a few hours. But yeah. If you want to check it out, again, our YouTube channel is at youtube.com/c/techbygamespace. And then on here, on our Twitch channel, it's twitch.tv/TechValleyGameSpace. We are also streaming on Picarto as well. If anyone happens to use that, that should be under picarto.tv/TechValleyGameSpace as well, if memory serves correct. Chris, you can correct me if I'm wrong there. But yeah, that's about it. Maybe we should go through the whole shebang of you should follow us on Twitter, or should we just call it a night?
I think we should call it a night.
We should definitely call it a night. Yeah, thanks everyone. That was actually a lot of fun. With all the Ludum Dare games that we got, I really enjoyed the quality of games that we got this time around.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks to everybody who submitted and joined us, and we'll see y'all next week.
Alright. See ya, everyone. Bye.